everyone, Platano here, and welcome back to another webisode on the Jowell Show. So today's topic I want to talk about, it just like came to mind. It was like a good topic to talk about today from a show that I was actually just watching, and I'm like, all right, this is actually something I could talk about because it's something that relates to me, and I'm pretty sure it's something that relates to a lot of people as well, like whoever has done this. So it's from the show that I watched called Your Worst Nightmare, which sucks because I can I barely see the show come on. Oh my god! It comes on this channel called Investigation Discovery, ID for short, and I love watching that show. It's like one of those how you call it, those what, like documentary type of like murder mystery type of things, like those type of shows. I'm not sure exactly what the genre is for specifically for those. And it's the one I like this one specifically because it's the ones where they have like people like actors whatever portray like what like this that person who was like killed or raped or whatever like that. And then while they're doing that, they'll sometimes cut back to like the real person that went through this or whatever like that. I don't know what they call it, but you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I love watching that show. It sucks that it's oh my god, it just takes forever to come on. Like, but it's a really good show. So the topic that it was talking about, I mean, for that episode, not topic, but that episode they was talking about was with a girl that was one of her coworkers. It's crazy. One of her coworkers that she liked him as a friend, like close. She was really close with him, and she started being really nice with him and help him with things like with money, driving him home and stuff because he was poor or whatever like that. And she even like had him like borrow her car sometimes like that to go out and everything like that. And then he had this jealous girl that he broke up with or whatever like that, and she was like always she was like always like like stalking him and shit, and like coming to the job and arguing all that stuff. It's just crazy, guys. It's crazy. It's not something to laugh at, but I just like this is in my head like damn, it's just crazy what happened. And he started liking the girl, his coworker. I guess I think she was his boss. He started liking her, but she said she only see him as a friend because he was young. He's only 19, and I think she said in her 30s or something like that. Said she's too old for him, whatever like that. But he liked her. He didn't care and all that. But she's home friends is fine. And then his crazy girl, his crazy ex, well whatever, because like an on and off relationship. I know people just like that. But she what's it? She was like crazy, whatever. She like really like put things into his head, and she told him like they pretty much like planned to rob that girl. Take her car keys or whatever like that. Take her car, take all of her money and stuff like that. So that's what happened. So, but then he ended up killing her because his crazy girl told him like, oh, if you really love me or whatever like this, you would kill her or whatever because she's in the way of our relationship pretty much. And long as she's there, she's gonna be like the obstacle, whatever, in the way. Because since he kind of liked her, but he still likes the other girl. So like he's like like confused, like typical like young, like typical young teenagers nowadays and shit in relationships and stuff like that. So it's just sad, like damn, like what happened? That was just crazy what he did. They said he stabbed her multiple times and stuff and everything like that. But this is just the people portraying, this is the people, the actors, whatever, playing out what happened, and stuff like that. And this is sad because I'm like, damn, it popped up in my head, like with how people are now, like how you can apply it to like, our lives and stuff, in the real world, because this is stuff that happens, like when you're too nice with people and stuff like that, and then they could turn on you at any moment. Like I've dealt with this stuff already, not like that, but I've dealt with, people in the past I've helped, people didn't have anything and stuff. I have done it with a few people back then in DR and stuff like that, because I understand it's hard and stuff like that. And like sometimes, I'm a nice person, so all right, fine, here's this or whatever, to eat or whatever like that. Even though majority of the time I don't believe, I mean like most of the shit they say, but I'm like I was a nice person, so I was doing all this stuff, being like really kind, generous and stuff like that. And so it makes me think because like you know what if I was like doing all this stuff and this person started like me or whatever like that, or like we'll say we were like in a long distance relationship and I was doing all this stuff for that person, but when I finally meet up with them, something like that ends up happening, or they have like some crazy, they probably didn't tell me, like kept it on the low, but they had like some crazy, girl or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever on the low, or whatever like that, and I didn't know, and and stuff like that, and they plan to rob me or whatever like that, so I think about all that stuff because it's definitely something that can happen in real life, Obviously, it is something that happened in real life, It's just these people playing out what happened, the events that happened, everything like that. And I don't know what year that took place. Because I only watched like the like more towards like the ending of the episode. So I don't know much about what happened in the beginning. I don't know what year this happened or whatever with the girl, whatever like that, and the guy that killed her, or whatever. But it's just crazy, man. It's sad, but I was happy at the end because they caught them. They caught the boy and his crazy girl and their girlfriend, and they all like end up serving life in prison and stuff like that. So like, good, is what they deserve, So it's like, damn, it was just sad because like, damn, I was thinking about that. You got to think about that stuff, guys, because you never know who's who. You being nice with people, it's helping people out, or whatever. And then next thing you know, this is what they do to you. So it's just crazy. Like, I just really wanted to like pretty much like share that, with you guys, that story and everything. And guys, definitely have to check out that show. It's a really good show. Just sucks that it doesn't come on as often. I mean, I have Sling TV, which sucks. I want back cable, but right now this is what we have. Is like more like a streaming type of cable. I'm not really big on streaming stuff. I don't like streaming that much. I prefer the old school stuff, just having the cable or whatever. But for now, this is what we can do, until whenever, and all that. So I don't know for you guys that have like maybe Optimum or Verizon cable, whatever. Maybe it comes up more often for you guys. I don't know, but it's a good show. Like, it's really good. I like it, and it just sucks that it doesn't come on often, so I can't watch it that much. But seeing all that stuff, it's like, it's just crazy. Like, damn, now you gotta think about that stuff because you don't know who's who. You're being nice and generous, and you think this person is like, like this person's a good person, because of course you're helping this person. You think they're a good person. You think they're like genuine. They're like, not lying or whatever like that. They're being honest with you and stuff like that. And it ends up they, they're a crazy killer or whatever like that, psycho, killer or whatever like that, serial killer, whatever. You never know. So you never know like who you're being nice with, and and doing things for, and giving this person this and that, and next thing you know, when you guys meet up, you get raped or robbed or killed or whatever like that. So all those stuff I think about, and I know that's something that a lot of you people should think about, especially with a lot of females, that be having like relationships like that, because I have had friends like that when I used to have like a lot of girls I used to hang out with and everything back in the days and everything. Not anymore. I know I spoke about that before, is because the way they are, and there's just too much drama with them and all that shit. I just can't deal with it. But when I had a lot of them back then as friends and everything, it was crazy though. So I always hear these stories. And one of my close friends, she was always call me and talk about her problems with. I know I spoke about this as well. It was the same thing with her boyfriend. It was also on and off thing, on and off thing. At least he wasn't like that, thank God, like to ever like do anything like that to her. But it was also an on and off thing and stuff, and then he ended up cheating on her and stuff like that. So it ties in with, like, what happened as well, like in this episode, everything, because that crazy girl that was on and off, something, she was his girl, and then she's not, and she's his girl, and then she's not. She was saying the same thing to him, like, oh, he's cheating on her with the girl, his coworker, his boss, whatever, whoever she is. I think she was his boss and manager or whatever, and all that stuff. So you never know who's who. And it's funny because this is actually something that happened to me, that I don't think I ever talked about it. Maybe I have in the past. I don't know, but it just popped in my head because what I'm just talking about. But when I used to have like a lot of friends, female friends back then. It was back in City Tech in college, when I used to go to City Tech college. I used to have like my little crew and everything. After I left high school, I had my little crew, in college and stuff like that. We used to hang out, have fun, all that stuff. So one of the girls that I was close with and everything, what's her name? I think her name was Mildred. Yeah, and we was close and everything, but she had the same thing with her the relationship she was in with crazy guy or whatever like that, who was like almost like a stalker. So it kind of reminded me of this episode in a way. And in past episodes, I have seen that was just like this. We have this like this jealous ex or whatever like that that's like starting to stalk the the girl or whatever, and whoever they hang out with, they like get jealous because like, oh, this is your new boyfriend, whatever like that. So I remember, one time she told me that because since they had like an on and off thing, and he found out that me and her were like close, or whatever, and she would we'd talk or whatever, or text a lot or whatever like that, that stuff, because since for some reason with females, like when they know you're gay, they always want to be close with you and like, oh, like we best of buds now and everything like that. So yeah, but he didn't know that, so he thought that we was going out, like me and her. So she had to like clear it up and tell like, oh no, he doesn't go that way or whatever like that, and he was like, oh, okay, so things like that you have to look out for. Cause what if it wasn't that? What if she never told him that? And what if I wasn't gay? So what would have happened? We came after me and her, so you got to think about those things. It's like it's scary, it's scary. And it's like, damn, like I always think about these things. So you never know what the outcome is. It's not good to think negative, but it's good to think, like, how should I say? I don't even know what, like, the word to say, but it's good to think that way, and like not really negative, but just in a way that you like being like kind of like on alert, pretty much, like, like, or if I like kind of like thinking out your head, like, what could the outcomes be if I'm doing this, or if I give this person that, or this person's acting this way, if I'm acting this way towards that person, and that they probably broke up recently with somebody, what, like, think about those type of scenarios. What could happen if this happens? What could happen if this would happen? Like, always be on alert, always be cautious and stuff like that, because that's what I dealt with already with her and everything like that. So this is crazy. Like, yeah, so I dealt with that, and like I said, I dealt with a lot of people like helping out, and they end up just being, like, just messed up. Well, thank God nothing bad happened to me, but I mean, like, messed up as in, people I've done long distance things to, with whatever, like, they end up like using me or playing me, whatever, and stuff like that, but not like anything serious like that, but still, you always have to be on the lookout for that, and you never know, because, this show, that show is like, it's like kind of like, it teaches you stuff, it's kind of like a life lesson, like, like, okay, this is what happens to this person. If you're watching the show, you're like, oh, this is what happened to this person's relationship. Now I know not to do something like that. Or now I know to be more cautious or more on alert with the guys that I'm with, or the guy that I'm with, or the girl that I'm with, and stuff like that. Or, all that stuff, like, you got to think of, you just start thinking about it, like all those thoughts just like start, like, flowing through your head and stuff like that. So that's why I like the show, because it does teach you and everything like that, like a life lesson pretty much. And like I said, a lot of episodes I've watched in the past, um, it was like more of like a relationship thing where, like, the crazy ex or whatever like that, coming after the girl, ends up like killing her or whatever like that, kidnapping her and everything like that. This is crazy. So all those things you have to think about, because you never know who's who. You never know who's who. And this also ties in what I talked about in the past with, like, with these dating apps and everything like that. You never know who's who. So you always got to be on alert, always got to be cautious and everything. And, just pretty much, know what you're doing. Like, pretty much, like, play your cards right and everything like that. Like, don't just be all dumbfounded or whatever like that. You gotta think about these things. And there's definitely is something that should pertain, I should say, should pertain to people who's younger. Because a lot of younger people not really think about that stuff. They're just like, oh, okay, this person that likes me, I like them, too, and whatever like that. So they don't think of that. They think of it that way, everything like that. But anyways, enough talking, everything. I just really wanted to share that, with you guys and everything like that. It was just interesting, it was really interesting. I'm like, what, this is a good topic to talk about today, because since I barely have much things to really talk about on here, so at least, sometimes things like that, like, watching that show, whatever, it gives me ideas or whatever else, I'm doing or whatever, it gives me ideas. I'm like, okay, let me talk about it before I forget, and then I'll never do it, So that's the reason why, like, what, let me just do this, and all that good stuff. Even though I'm tired, guys, I'm tired, working early and everything, so I was at work. But yeah, so I can relax. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think of everything in the comment section below. For you small crew that still watch my channel, I know I'm always saying that, but hopefully I'll be able to build, the channel up again. I did get a new subscriber yesterday, so that's great. So that's good. So let's hopefully everything just starts moving, along or whatever like that, and I get some more people, and we start having like how it used to be back then on this channel with a lot of comments and likes and all that other stuff. You name it, and yeah, and all that good stuff. So like, comment, definitely appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time for the next webisode on the Jowell Show. Peace.